Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. It is 9 a.m. on Friday, and you are watching Friday Friends with me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, and your host for the last 200 plus episodes of Friday Friends. And as you all know, the month of November, we dedicate all of our Friday Friends to resources for veterans and their families. And I have a super exciting new program that is going to be shared with you by my friend Dave from Rhode Island Legal Services. But as a nonprofit, you know we cannot bring you Friday Friends without the support of our sponsors. So a huge thank you to Point 32 Health Foundation, United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, as well as 321 Media, Cox Communication. They have a brand new program for veterans to help them get connected to the internet for free or for a much lower cost. So I encourage you to check out the new Cox Connect program, as well as our friends over at McCarthy Law. Here's a message from Samantha and her team.
Here at McCarthy Law, we practice in the areas of estate planning, long-term care planning, elder care law, and residential real estate. Our focus is really on providing peace of mind to our clients.
If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with our office, you can feel free to reach out to us at 401-541-5540. You can also reach out via website at www.mccarthylawri.com. You also should check out our social media, both on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for some helpful tips and tricks.
Hey, hi Dave, how are you?
Good, Deb. How are yourself today?
Excellent, excellent. So, Dave, we met at the Attorney General's office, their elder abuse task force, I believe it was, their annual presentation, and you were telling me about a new program at Rhode Island Legal Services. So can you share with everybody what it is that you're doing now?
Yes, we received a grant for providing services to veterans who are finding themselves that they're either homeless or that they're at risk of being homeless, to provide them with legal services. And, also we also provide some other services also by dealing with some of our people that we affiliate ourselves with also for social service type stuff.
That's one of the things I really like about Rhode Island Legal Services is you connect people in so many more ways than just the legal piece. It is really a holistic approach that you guys have. So there should be no homeless veterans in this country. That's my opinion. I think most people share it.
I agree with you.
What's the qualifications for your program?
Well, basically, the person either has to be a veteran, and that's usually they look at for 2 years as being the veteran, and the discharge has to be something other than a dishonorable discharge. Now, 2 years is not a whole fast number. There are other exceptions within the rules where, like, people who have service people who have gone out and done a 1-year tour with all the Iraq and Afghanistan and the war on terror. If they did their 1 year and they came back and they completed their whole tour of duty, they also would qualify. So if you're questioning whether or not you'd qualify for this program, give us a call. Let us go through, because there's a lot of we're finding there's a lot of different exceptions into the rules, and as we dig further and further into it, so we're trying to help people as much as we can.
That is awesome. So it's not a matter of you have to be a certain percentage of service-connected disability, or you had to have served before this time or after that time. It's just you've served for 2 years or under other circumstances.
That's correct. Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And so what types of legal work does the program help people with?
Well, I mean, first of all, because it's homeless and homelessness, a lot of it has to do with housing laws and evictions. We're dealing with, we can't help people with foreclosure preventions,
Oh, okay.
obviously. So, they can try to keep them in their house, bankruptcies, consumer law. We do with IRS issues, guardianship, help them expunge any. If they have a criminal record, we can try to help them with by doing an expungement. If they're having a hard time, which may be why they're homeless or uh, at risk of being homeless, we can help them, acquire public benefits. And
That's
that,
awesome.
that's some of the stuff we do. Also, Rhode Island Legal Services has their own set of stuff that they could also double qualify for another program. Yeah, so it's just because you don't qualify for one program at RILS or Rhode Island Legal Service doesn't mean you don't qualify for something else.
That is really important for people to understand that there's so many different services that are available to individuals through Rhode Island Legal Services across the age spectrum, really, as long as they're an adult, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Because we do, each program gets its own separate funding, and there's that attributed for that particular legal services that we're going to be providing. So, like I said, if you don't fall underneath one department, we may be able to move you over to someone else's department that deals with that particular problem.
That is awesome. Now, are you finding that the individuals, the veterans who are in need, are you finding them to be older or younger? Is there any kind of pattern to it, to the folks who are in need?
There's really not much of a pattern, but I am seeing that it appears that older veterans seems to be having more problems. It looks like because they're on fixed incomes, they have health issues, that they're older. So they seem to be causing some of their problems.
Yeah, and these days the way rent is going up, it's just a lot of folks just can't keep up. And when men and women have served the country, I want to see them get every drop of help that is available out there. So
Yeah, I agree with you because they put their lives on the line for this country. They wrote Uncle Sam a blank check that could include up to death for their service to this country, to be patriotic, and we need to show our appreciations back to the men and women who serve this country, and give them what they deserve.
absolutely, 110%. And just for clarity for anybody who's watching, I just want to make it clear, I myself am not a veteran. I just believe when men and women do sign to possibly give up their life, for me to have freedom and ease of life, it's my responsibility to give back in the ways that I can. And that's by getting people connected with information and resources. So RA Elder Info is dedicated to our veterans, their family, getting people what it is they need. So with Rhode Island Legal Services and the new Veteran Project, is that the title of it, the Veteran Project?
That's correct. We're just calling it the Veteran Project right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do people reach out to? How do they contact you? How do they find out if they're eligible?
Oh, we have our paralegal who does all the intakes is Veronique, and her number is 274-2652. I believe it's extension 187. So she would talk to the people first, see what the legal problems are. Then she would give it to an attorney who would review it and give a call back to get more further information.
Oh, okay. So everybody can reach out to Miss Pereira at the 401-274-2652 extension 187. And
Sure.
if someone is homeless, do they have to come to the Rhode Island Legal Services office downtown, or can you meet them in like the local coffee shop or library? Is that possible? Can you go to them?
Usually we don't do that too often, so
Okay.
we'll play it case by case. I mean, we've had where clients were basically shut-ins, and we had to go to their apartment to intake them and then speak with them and meet. So it like I said, it's a case by case basis.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. And your office is, if I recall, it's downtown and it is
Correct.
on a bus line, like not far from Kennedy Plaza.
That's correct. We're at 56 Pine Street, where the main office suite is Suite 400 on the 4th floor, and that's where our receptionist is. If you were to come here and visit,
Yep. And it is accessible if you have a mobility impairment, so that's good.
it is accessible. Unfortunately, something happened to the lift, and it's kind of out of order. But we're waiting to get that to make sure that gets fixed.
Maybe over the holiday weekend they'll get it fixed. So
hopefully they'll get it fixed soon. It's a kind of a
Absolutely. So what other kinds of programs could veterans take advantage of through Rhode Island Legal Services?
Well, not only do we have, the veterans program, we also have we have our elderly program. Anyone who's over 60, and it's the elderly abuse and prevention unit, and they work also to, like I said, to assist elderly people who are getting abused, both legally and also getting, social workers in there. Matter of fact, we have a social worker here on staff, with the actually embedded in RILS. So, we do have access to her all the time. She's very resourceful. So that's good.
Yes, that's Adela, right?
Adela, correct.
She is a rock star for anybody who's listening. Adela, the social worker at Rhode Island Legal Services, is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Good person.
Yeah.
Like dealing with her, and she's easy to work with.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I have everything here. So for the new veterans program at Rhode Island Legal Services, reach out to Veronique at the 401-274-2652 extension 187. And she'll have like a conversation, figure out what the person might need, and then have a conversation. And one of the attorneys can reach out to the person and schedule a meeting. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. And preferably it's if you've served for 2 years, but if it was something that maybe you were deployed for less than 2 years, you still could be eligible for more help.
That's correct. They also could fall underneath the definition of veterans for this program. It's, that's just, everybody says 2 years, but the definition really does kind of get breaks down a little bit more into who else could be included.
Okay. And when we're talking about definitions too, this might sound weird, but I've heard it come up. What is the definition of homeless and at risk for homelessness?
Well, I'll give you a quick definition for homeless is someone who sleeps in a place that's not ordinary used for regular sleeping, like whether they're sleeping in their car or an abandoned building. Homelessness, and this is just a quick synopsis, is a person who's living in the house of another due to an economic hardship, that their housing is going to be terminated in the next 21 days. We see this a lot with people who are getting evicted from their apartments because they get that 20-day letters and summonses. And, anyone who's sleeping in some type of like institution that's, because of the living situation and their hardship. That's some of it. So, I mean, it is more, it's quite an extensive list that they have. And then, we can, which gives us some room to make sure that to help someone fit into a category.
That's good. Having a broader definition is helpful for those folks who, maybe they're at 19 days away from eviction, but then it's like, well, the weekend's coming, but I know some of the laws have even changed in regards to how long a landlord has to give someone before raising the rent, for example. And
Correct.
if an older adult is facing, the landlord didn't give them enough time. If they're a veteran, great, they can qualify under the veterans program. But if they just even reached out to Rhode Island Legal Services, you guys might be able to prevent that eviction if the landlord didn't follow
Uh,
the rules.
Yes, even if they're not a veteran, I mean, we do have a housing unit that deals with housing. I can't tell you exactly what their requirements are, or what they look for, or in order to get approved for that program. But it doesn't hurt if you give a call. I mean, you might give us a call, and you just might get some information, and we give you a little advice, and that might help you on your way if we can't take you in for as a client.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes it's just getting the directions and kind of getting that roadmap of how to navigate. A lot of times
Yeah.
that's what people need.
Oh,
And I
yes.
I love you guys for that. I love Adela. She's
Thank you.
amazing. Steve, you, it's so important the work that you're doing. If people wanted to support Rhode Island Legal Services, how could they do that? Do you need volunteers? Do you need donors? What would
Well,
be helpful to support this
yeah,
work?
yeah. If you want to donate, you can go online to RILS, Rhode and there's a donation page you can click on and donate, or you can mail a check into us to make it out to check to RILS for Rhode Island Legal Services, and just mail it to our address here at 56 Pine Street, Suite 400, and that's Providence, Rhode Island.
That
02903.
that is awesome. How about volunteers? Do you need volunteers too?
I'm not sure about volunteer. I don't.
Because it's legal. I know it could be a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
challenging.
I'm a staff attorney, so I don't. That's kind of like more management type thing. That probably have to ask Steve a question about that. So
Okay.
I'll ask Steve if if he's about the volunteers.
That is awesome. Of course, I'm going to bet that you'll always accept maybe some coffee for those late nights where you're preparing briefs to help folks, right?
Oh, absolutely. Any help, anything that can help us so we can help more people would be greatly appreciated.
That is awesome.
We do have a lot of dedicated people here, and most of them do have quite a bit of experience underneath their belts before they came here. So that's a good thing. It's not like we're not a bunch of new people. We got a lot of people who've been around the block a little.
Yes, yes. But that's good because that means you have great experience to be able to help people all the more.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Yeah, this has been great. I'm so glad that you were able to come on today. And it's to contact Veronique Pereira at the 401-274-2652 extension 187 for the Veterans Program. And then if people have questions that are legal that are not related specifically, they can just call the 274-2652, right?
Correct. They can just call the main line. If they dial 300, they'll get their receptionist, and she'll do an intake and farm you out to an attorney that will respond to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on today, Dave. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Deb. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get the word out. The program here. So if anyone knows a veteran who's has some problems, who's facing homelessness or is homeless, have them give us a call so we can hopefully we can do something for them. Again, we do have a social worker on staff, and we do have other affiliate programs we work with who have social workers available also.
And you're a veteran, so you can speak to them veteran to veteran. And thank you for
Absolutely.
your service.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Everybody, Rhode Island Legal Services is a treasure trove of information and assistance. I really do encourage you to share this video so that we work to have no veterans homeless at all. It is possible. It is doable. And Dave and the Veterans Program at Rhode Island Legal Services can help folks get connected, get some of their legal issues resolved if necessary, in order to get folks off the street. You know, we're coming into the winter. We can't have folks outside. That's just not okay. So if you want to support them, give them a call at the 401-274-2652, extension 187. If you want to volunteer or donate, their website is RILS.org, so RILS.org, so that you can help support getting our veterans housed and off the street, because we all know that's important. So everybody, I am so glad that you are able to join me on this nice, relaxing day after Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a fabulous day and that you enjoy this long weekend. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.